fans, Real Madrid fans, if you love football. I want to almost say if you love football fans, but every football fan out there, welcome to the channel. So different things we want to talk about. AFCON is drawing ever closer, and despite something that happened, yesterday really got me down, but still, we'll still push on through, and we'll be having more AFCON content on the channel. No worries about that one. But we'll start with a bit of sad news. If you've seen the videos on my channel, maybe you got some inkling. If you follow social media as well, news developments, I'll talk about Benjamin Frederick being out, picked up an injury in training. Just so sad for the player because he is a special player. Because every time you hear, oh, this kid is a wonder kid. Oh, this guy is a Brazilian wonder kid. Oh, this guy from Man City Academy, he's super special. He is a game changer, generational talent. Benjamin Frederick is actually a generational talent. So for me, it's just sad that he's out. That he's out injured. It's sad for me, and I think Eric Chill as well has to hold his hands up a bit. He has to hold his hand up a bit. The NFF, the way they use that boy, played him every minute. They ran him into the ground, having him play different positions. I think that contributed as well to him being out. It's just bad. And then when you look at the squad, you ask yourself, who is like him, who is in that mold, that can hold the ball and comfortably carry the ball from the defense to the midfield, and even sometimes go beyond the midfield and create an assist, like he did for Victor Osimhen. I think he did for Victor Osimhen for one of his goals, and an assist again for Chidera Educase. So that is the question now: who is that guy? I mean, you're not expecting Chus Ekong to do that. You're not expecting Chus Ekong to do that sort of thing. Because first off, his legs are gone. If he tries it, he is going to collapse. That's for sure. Then again, playing with Chus Ekong means this high pressing thing, you're not going to do it. You have to drop several meters into your own half. That's the issue. So who is that guy? Are we going to go for a Vincent Suji? Because he's right there. He's right there. A lot of people are saying he's a young player. Benjamin Frederick was a young player that no one really cared about until the Unity Cup game. He got his opportunity, he got his moment, he took it with both hands, and like the rest they say is history. So I think Vincent Suji can be a similar story as well. And Igor Ogbu as well. I think he's back fit. I think he may be available for the AFCON. The list, we don't know what is happening with him. We said it's 55-man list. And then it'll be whittled down to 27. Now it's meant to be 27 as opposed to, is it 26 or 25? Now, will the NFF even take advantage of it? That is the thing. We'll come to that. There are lots of things we'll talk about on this live stream. There are lots of things we'll have to talk about. So the question is, would the NFF take advantage of it? So, but now for now, who do we think is that guy that comes in and takes that place of Benjamin Frederick? Because despite the fact that World Cup qualification is done, a lot of people are coming up with different things about Congo playing someone who was not cleared by FIFA. I don't know if Nigeria will escape again. Escape the last one at the actual qualifiers, where in a group where you have South Africa as the toughest competition, you had Lesotho, Benin Republic, you struggled, and on the last day, that's when you qualify for the playoff. Are we going to escape again to get to the actual intercontinental playoff due to this legal thing again? And say Wan-Bissaka, I think that's the talk around it, that Aaron Wan-Bissaka wasn't cleared by FIFA. If Congo were that dense to allow that to happen, then maybe Nigeria gets in again. But the way this team plays, the way the NFF messes about with the team, it may shock you that Nigeria may go face up against Iraq or New Caledonia and throw and lose the way they set up the team, because they joke with the team. They joke with the Nigerian Super Eagles team. They joke with it. It's like their toy. It's like what they used to impress their friends, what they used to impress their girlfriends, their boyfriends, used to impress, their children at home. I can get this ancient player who can no longer move to be in the team. It's like their plaything. Which other country would you see invite only one right back? Invite only one left back. Oh, okay, had two left back. Invite one right back. Which other team would you see it? Which other team would you see You have only two midfielders. Which other team? None. There are no teams apart from the Nigerian Super Eagles because the NFF like to mess about with it. So even if by some, hocus pocus, by some weird thing, by some Doctor Strange inspired thing, Nigeria ends up in the Intercontinental playoffs. Are you even sure? Are you sure? On paper, you would say New Caledonia, we should beat them. Of course, who are they? But you could say the same thing. Benin Republic, you should be trashing them 4-5-0 if you're looking on paper. You should be trashing South Africa 4-5-0 as well on paper. But that didn't happen. And that's why I had to go to the playoff, and that's why I ended up being qualified. Because even for the playoffs, the NFF didn't learn. Oh, man. Yo. Now, so for no, go walk up. Oh. All right. This time, let's get everybody that is needed. Sometimes in life it happens. If you're working in a warehouse, right, in a sawmill, and the saw almost cost your finger because you are looking at somewhere else. Once you say, oh, I would have cut my finger. No. You become more careful, right? Yes, you will become more careful. You become more vigilant. The NFF almost missing out on the World Cup. You got second chance to play off. Any right thinking set of people would have been like, all right now, let's get the best people. Philip Otele, oh yeah, invite him. Ebenezer Kinsimuno, do everything. Get all the players there so I can qualify. But for them, no. It presented another opportunity for more daft decisions. So even if by some stretch of the imagination, Nigeria gets to be in the intercontinental playoffs, might very well lose to New Caledonia. So maybe it's best just stay at home. I want Nigeria to be in the World Cup. I wanted Nigeria to be in the World Cup. If you've watched this channel, you know I've been one of the biggest proponents, biggest pushers of Nigeria being in the World Cup because there's something hugely sentimental for me for this particular World Cup. But that didn't happen. So what? So going there would just be a waste of time. So let me know in the comment section who you think can be the next person to, should I say, good replacement for Benjamin Frederick, because looking at it, who do we have there? Who are we going to use in that place now? So that is the issue. David Odogu is a different profile of centre back. He is more of a like for like replacement for William Troost-Ekong, because William Troost-Ekong probably retires before the AFCON, or best case scenario, he retires at the end of the AFCON in January. So, and the AFCON is less than 25 days away right now. So let's see how it all shapes up with that one. So Benjamin Frederick, in the comment section, who do you think should come up to replace him since he's out injured, which is so sad. Felix Agu as well. He's another one that will be missing. This Nations Cup is so annoying. It's so annoying and frustrating for me, because when you see top level quality players just being dropped, as in failing to make it, is so sad for me. Vince Osuji, Taiwo says Vince Osuji, so top marks for you to that one. He's someone I see as a good candidate for that role as well. But Felix Agu was just heartbreaking for me. The injury picked up, and now to recuperate, he's going to have to miss the AFCON and miss the World Cup as well. It's just annoying and frustrating for me. Do we look at Adara Mola from Nathan Orange? Maybe someone you look at. Who are the other left back options? You go for Babatunde, and move from Sporting Lagos FA to Anderlecht. You look at him because he is another dynamic modern fullback that can drop into certain positions. So maybe is he another one you look at? So it says Chubike Wanyan. I think he is more of a centre back that can drift and play central defense. So maybe he's that one as well that can come in to that role. He plays for Wolfsberger in the Austrian league. So maybe he's someone that comes in and fills that role. Let's see what the NFF indeed does with that one. And then talking about Arerism, I've not that much about him. That's Emmanuel Uchenna Arerism. I think he's played for Sparta Prague. He is one to consider, more of a right back in my opinion, but let's see about that one. And then David Moses. David Moses is more of a central midfielder, I think. So I think he's maybe a name you consider for midfield. Looking at the midfield, the names I will go for is, first off, Ndidi Iwobi, Go home. You've done so well for Nigeria. You've worked so hard for the country. It's time for you to go home. It's time for you to rest. It's time for you to enjoy your retirement. And then you go on there and get Ebenezer Kinsimiro in the building, Uche Crisantos, whatever madness is wrong with Eric Chell, you pick him up and shake him, and he picks him. So, of course. So, and then get Ebenezer Kinsimiro, Ebenezer Kinsimiro, get Uche Crisantos, and then Rafael Onyedika. That was for whatever reason. I don't know what's wrong with Eric Chell. He chooses to have him tied up to the bench and doesn't play him. It's madness to me. So Ebenezer Kinsimiro, Uche Crisantos, Rafael Onyedika. So these three, and then this is where it gets interesting for me. You then go on and get Uba Charles joined to the mix, because I'm only looking at how this guy wants to play football. Because from one thing I believe is it mustn't be 4-4-2. It mustn't be 4-3-3. But whichever style, whichever approach you choose, then you must stick to that style. Then you must stick to that style of play. Then you must pick that style of play. Then you must pick players that suit the style of play you want to play. How you want your team to play. You must pick players that suit the style. So Uba Charles comes in as well. So we've got Onyedika, we've got Ebenezer Kinsley, we've got Uche Crisantos, we've got Uba Charles, in that midfield. And then for me, if you can get Ethan Nwaneri and Francis Onyeka, then you go for it, because that gives you a different profile in the midfield. People can actually be creative. I know some people will say, "Oh, but the England has high hope for them. Oh, Germany has high hope for them." The question I always ask is this: how does Senegal do it? Because the players that Senegal gets, they're not players that no one rates. They are players that France wants to keep. Mamadou Sarr, Chelsea player, is a player that France wanted to keep, but they were able to get him to play for Senegal. How did they do it? They showed true commitment to getting the player. If, for instance, you lead a delegation straight to Ethan Nwaneri's father's house, straight to him and say, okay, these are pure intentions. We're not looking to collect £10,000 from you. We're not looking to collect jersey from you. We want you to play for Nigeria. We want to build this team around you. If you do that, the boy will be committed. But what happens most of the time is a player would want to play for a country like Nigeria, and then certain things will begin to be requested for, and then the player gets frustrated. He says, why should I play for you? Then that whole thing of, you did not give me the opportunity to harness my talents, and why should you be demanding something of me? So those are the things. Is there that genuineness? Are you genuine? Say, we want this player. If you are genuine, see, there's something I don't want to say live on here, but if you have a genuine interest in getting Ethan Nwaneri to play for you, Rio to play for you, just be genuine and let certain people know, and it will be done. But if you want to play some games here and there, then forget about it. You're not going to get those players. That's just it. So Taiwo says 10 new players confirmed to be invited: Anthony Dennis, Gosape, David Moses, Slavia Prague, Chubiki, Wanyawo Wolfsberger, Rafi Durushimi, of course, of Victoria Pleasant, Dapo Folayan teams for played for Sao Paulo in Bundesliga, yeah? Yeah, so Ryan Alebiesu, so he plays for the Blackburn Rovers. And then we've got Tochukwu Nadi. I know he plays in one of those Scandinavian leagues. I'll do more research on that. Onuchi Ogbelu play for Esperance de Tunis. To Tebo Franklin, 6'4" central defender. I think he could be the one to look at as well. And then Ebenezer Harcourt. Now, when I look at Ebenezer Harcourt, I don't have any issues with the player, but I just feel like he's not ready. He's not ready. Maybe you give him the kind of treatment I was suggesting for Anareri Korabo, which is you have him be part of the squad, but you know he's not going to start any game. He just comes in there and has a feel of what it means to play for the Super Eagles, of what it means to be in that AFCON environment. So by the next AFCON, he doesn't look out of place. And then if you're leading the game, maybe you're smashing Tanzania 4-0, right? 4-0, and you can use that with 5 minutes to go. You can bring him on, okay, come have your 5 minutes. Because what I saw of him in the Under 20 World Cup, it just makes me believe he has talent, is a good prospect, but he is not ready to be the number one guy. Not even number one guy, to be a guy that comes off and takes a second spot. He's not ready to be a guy that can come off the bench and play 25, 30 minutes. So that's why for me, Ato Konkwo should be looked at. Ato Konkwo should be looked at. Dakwa Afolayan. Now, think about Dakwa Afolayan. Now, this is one thing that I wouldn't say it worries me a bit, right? And if you do that, you'll never get the best to our nationals, right? So if you're going on to get someone who you wait till England doesn't really care about, right? You wait till Germany doesn't care about. Like, for instance, Wisdom Mike is right there. Sometimes test the resolve. Tell Wisdom Mike you're going to play first team football. You will play in the Super Eagles. Maybe, and obviously he won't start, but you will play. Test his resolve and see what happens. Because if you keep waiting till a guy is 28, 29, and it looks like he's never ever going to play for that European country, you may not get an Ademola Lookman situation all the time. You just may not. You may get an Amobi situation. Because Amobi, when he was in his prime, when he was scoring goals, when he was like, the business at Newcastle United, whatever reason, he didn't get to be around Nigeria. But then when it was like he was finished, somehow, some way, they got him to be in a national team. So I'm not saying that Afolayan is finished, but I'm just saying if you keep waiting when players get to 26, 28, 27, 28, before you're getting those players, you may not be getting the best. And that's why I think you should jump on it and one and reach. So Dapo Afolayan plays for Blackburn Rovers. He's been versatile and all. They'll talk about Gibson as well to play in that central midfield position. I look at him, he is a good prospect as well. Stylistically, he's a better fit than it will be, but does he have the pedigree yet? So that's Gibson. Let's see. Yuraso is another person I would have liked to see. Justin Jima is another person I would have liked to see. And if the NFF had any sort of organizational sense about them, probably would have had like 2 or 3 friendly games prepared where these 55 players, or maybe you whittle it down to 45 players, all participate in those 3-4 friendly games. And then, of course, Victor Osimhen is the main man, and those ones will not be affected. But certain players could be dropped, and certain players could join, the party. Now, also thinking about Victor Boniface, why is he not there? Because Victor Boniface is someone I think is more suited to this new formation, this formation that Eric Chell is going with. I think he is the only striker that is suited to play in that support striker role, because he will create for Osimhen. That's one thing I've longed to see. I've longed to see Victor Osimhen being paired up with Victor Boniface. I've longed to see that partnership, right? But it just feels like we may not get it. We may not get it. I don't know what has happened between Victor Boniface and Eric Chell, but it just feels like that is not going to. I think the relationship may be broken. I don't know. I wish I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong, because I think Victor Boniface in that team is so much better for Nigeria. And the NFF does this thing where they always leave the team unbalanced. Last time they went for Tolu Arukodare, Victor Osimhen, and Akko Adams as the number 9s or as the strikers. And if you're playing with the 2-man striking team or group or whatever, usually you would be looking at having 4 strikers, so 2 to start and 2 to be on the bench, either to come up to replace or to give that other option. Maybe third game of the tournament you want to rest players, maybe someone is injured, someone needs to come off the bench for them. You need to have that. So looking at let's see what the AFCON list is, and this is what I don't get, right? That list should have been released like 2 days ago. They were making signs, the list is coming, and then people seem to get knowledge of the list. And when it comes up, the list is accurate. Like, what is going on? Why are we doing this? The same thing with starting lineup. No one sees the starting lineup, but 4 5 hours prior, so you have one or two people that know who's in the starting lineup, and tactically, that is not good business for for a national team. So, um, Bamidele Yusuf of for us is a beast of a striker. Yeah, we should be looking at those. Victor Orako is another one as well. Should be looking at those 6'3", 6'4", pacey, powerful strikers. If this is the formation we're seeing as the national identity, yeah. If you're looking at that 4-3, that if Eric Chell is embracing this 4-2-2-2 as the national team's identity, then you should get those players that can suit it. So Victor Rakpo is another one you should be looking at. Um, Bamidele Yusuf, I'll do some research on him. And then Uber Charles plays just like Kante. Don't know why we don't scout players. My brother Taiwo, let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. A lot of these players, they know. They know. They know. Believe me. A lot of these players, they know. Of course. They make transfers, they know. But their greed supersedes the need for them to win and change things. Tell me that NFF doesn't know that Hassan Yusuf plays in MLS. And tell me they don't know that he's not super spectacular for that team. But he's always there on the team sheet. Any team sheet put out, his name will be there. Ever since Gusau became NFF chairman, right? Or president, whatever. Each list that comes up, his name will be there. When they're dropping players, he's never drops, he's there. But he doesn't have impact. But he's always there. Uba Charles is somebody. He is a special talent. I will admit that Uba Charles is a bit raw, all right? Uba Charles is kind of raw. But, the pace he has for a central midfielder is scary. And what does that mean for you? It means he can track counter-attacks. It means, and his aggression in winning balls, that's what you need in that midfield. Two-man midfield, I've said it before. You can't hide when you're playing a two-man midfield. So that's why the likes of Iwobi and Ndidi, they get exposed. Two-man midfield, you can't just big boss it and play two-man midfield. You can't. You must be an absolute dog, an absolute monster. In a very good way. In a very good way, you must be an absolute person with your brain, something a bit shifted a bit, like you're willing to put tackles where no one wants to see. You're willing to run crazy, up and down. So when you have Ndidi and it will be as the two you pick, what do you expect? Let's just go back a bit to that playoff. Look at that goal. Like I like to say, right? Don't just take what I say for it. Watch that game. Watch that goal. The equalizer for Congo. Watch it. Iwobi loses the ball. Okay, he's human, so he mustn't always win the ball. Losing the ball is part. It can happen. But what happens next? Did he chase the guy down? No. Did he make runs into the box to be an extra body in the box in case a cross comes in, to block it out, to clear it, and all? He did none of those things. And look at the way he was jogging. He was just jogging, trudging behind the Congolese guy. Trudging. Ndidi uses his old man's sense to deceive people on the pitch. I'm sorry if this sounds somehow, but it is the truth. Ndidi would run into the attacking part of the pitch and stay there. And people think, oh, he's forward. While neglecting what he should be doing in the defensive part of the pitch. So, and then Victor Rakpo, Hafiz Umar, yeah, good one. Kadiz Efe Agama. Let's see what happens. Sani Suleiman for me is someone that we should be looking at. Tahi Maigana, Shola Agundana are good young players. Yeah, Tahi Maigana, I was impressed with him in the 20 World Cup. I think he needs a bit of refining as well. let's see how that shapes up. So there's one thing I want to also talk about on here. So if you just joining, thanks for joining the live stream. But what do you make of what's his face now? He's out. Benjamin Frederick is out. Who do you think should replace him, or who can replace him, in your own opinion? Let me know in the chats. And as well, yeah. So let's talk about that. And then Ty Magana said he needs to be refined now. And then this takes me to something I wanted to talk about. Let's talk about certain countries putting together, what I say, call it a losers World Cup or alternative World Cup. Talking about China could be a host and all that. So, what do you guys make of that tournament? Do you think Nigeria should participate and be part of it? I'll give you my own opinion. For me, I feel like, of course, you're not saying that is a World Cup, right? Of course, the World Cup will be hosted in Canada, it will be hosted in the US, it will be hosted in Mexico, but that should give an opportunity for certain players to be given game time for us to see what they are about, right? Because that's what usually happens with Nigeria, yeah? Once under 17 World Cup is missed, once under 20 World Cup is missed, once the World Cup is missed, nothing happens as per development of players until the next tournament comes around. So I would have even felt like, even without China and the other teams, wanting to do it, Nigeria should have on their own done it. That's if you had the NFF with working brains. Should have on their own. They should have done it, right? They should have done it. And so I'll just switch off from Nigerian stuff a bit, and then I'll talk about Estevao winning Barcelona Champions League yesterday. How would you rate him? Lamine Yamal yesterday looked out of place, out of sorts. He looked like he was not meant to be there. He looked like he didn't want to be there. Like I said on the previous, on another live stream, I said this. I said, for once, he looked like a kid. He looked like a kid on the pitch. Cucurella boxed him out. He really took care of him, and it's no disrespect to Cucurella, to Lamine Yamal, because Cucurella does it to everybody. He does it to even the most he does it to even top level, top elite, world class wingers. I think Yamal isn't world class yet. He's very, very good. Very, very good. I don't think he's world class yet. So, what do you guys make of that game? Make of Cucurella, Estevao? Think he is special? How he took his goal? How he approached the game all through? I think he is special. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on that one. And then we'll come back to Nigeria. Right? There's something I want to talk about. I've done a video about it. You could check the video on the channel as well after the live stream. But there's something I want to talk about, which is Victor Osimhen. I think the way Victor Osimhen, has been treated so far. Let's see, Adebola says, "Can we call into your program?" No. Is that the calling function here? I don't think so. And maybe I'll have another stream, because the platform I'm using right here, I don't think that the calling option isn't available on here. So I'll be doing another live stream later on today. That'll be a full calling session. I think we'll be able to join that one. So Adebola, let me look at your name properly. Say Adebola Olu Sheunfumi says, hey, can we call in the show? I wish you could, but not this one. I'll have another stream where you can call in. Call into the show. So maybe I'll do that by 2 p.m. By 2 p.m. Is that good for everybody? Do a live stream where you can all call in and have a nice discussion about this. So I'll set the call up for 2 p.m. and we can all dive in and have a nice discussion there. So, yeah. Speaking about Victor Osimhen, I think Victor Osimhen has not been treated properly. Now, you say, how do I mean? When you look at Norway, for instance, you look at Erling Haaland, everything that they do is to get the best out of Erling Haaland. Every pass they make, every cross they put into the box, everything, their whole style of play is geared to getting the best of Erling Haaland. Argentina, every way they play, all their short passes, is to get the best out of Lionel Messi. Spain, every way they play right now is to get the best out of Yamal. But for Nigeria, it kind of feels like we're not trying to get the best out of our best player. And let's face it, he is the best player. Auckland problem. I know your program. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ade. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for keep supporting the channel. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I kind of feel like then you look at England, every way they want to play is to get the best out of Harry Kane, to put Harry Kane in the best position possible to score goals, in the best position to, and be his best, because they know if Harry Kane is at his best, England will go far. Norway, they know if Erling Haaland is at his best, Norway will go far. But when it comes to Nigeria, it's a different case altogether, a different kettle of fish altogether. I don't quite get it, right? I don't quite understand it. So why in the world are you not playing the game to suit your best player? For instance, how many times have you seen a properly tailored cross come into the box? How many times have you seen Chukwueze putting delightful cross into the box? And the Fulham game, he put in a very good cross into the box for Jimenez, who converted it and scored for Fulham. So that is the question. That is the issue. Chukwueze, you can do this. So is it because you're not getting the right instruction? I think he's not getting the right instruction. Get the best out of your best player. Because if your best player is playing at his best and having a very good game, you are going to win an AFCON. You are going to win the World Cup. European teams are going to win the Euros, win World Cup. So that is why teams are tailored to that. Are tailored to their best player. But in Nigeria, even the fans don't even seem tailored to Victor Osimhen. Some take it personal with Victor Osimhen. Score one goal, now only going to score goal. That is his job. And he's the best at it in the national team already. He's the best at, when it comes to scoring goals, he's the best. So anything you want to do, of course you want to get support, you want to get people to pass the ball, to score goals as well. Maybe if he scores 10, you have one person scoring 2, another scoring 3. Yeah, but he is your best bet. He is your best striker. He is your talisman. Victor Osimhen is a leader. He has that spirit in him where he rallies everybody around him. So if you get him in a place where he's playing his best, imagine what he would do for everyone else in the team. So let me talk about Victor Osimhen. And then I want to say this. I hope on that list, the part of the new names they're talking about, Philip Potela is one of them. I just hope. I hope. I know Dapa Falayan, yeah, okay. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but if Philip Potela is not on that list, I will be disappointed, because it's clear for everyone to see. It's clear for everyone to see how good he is. How good he is. And please, I don't want to see Arsenal. For me, there are 3 players I don't want to see. But 2 of them, I think we may see them. The third one, I won't be surprised if I see him as well. It will be Didi and Alhassan Yusuf. I don't want to see those people, but I won't be shocked if it will be Didi that there, because of say experience, you don't want to change the team. How I look at this AFCON is, yes, I want Nigeria to win the AFCON, but I see the AFCON as, the first start of the rebuild. The rebuild of the team, the rebuild of everything is the first start. Certain players, you look at them, they can't cut it anymore. They can't cut it anymore. It will be he cannot. Indeed, he cannot. I'm sorry, each time I say this, someone drops in the comments and questions my football playing ability. I'm not a footballer. I'm not a striker. Maybe if I was a striker, I was a footballer, maybe I should be playing, getting ready for a weekend game versus Arsenal. I'm not a football player. I'm not. But I've watched football long enough to see a player that's not playing well, to see a player that's not delivering, and say he's not delivering and he shouldn't be in the team. so that offends people. Apparently, it offends people for you to say this player is not good enough, bring in a player who is better than him to play. We saw it in the Zimbabwe game. We've been seeing signs of Ndidi. We've been seeing him. We've been seeing signs of Ndidi. Nigeria people, we know say we don't dey see say Ndidi they cast. We don't dey see him. We don't dey see him from day one. Say Ndidi leg dey show. Ndidi leg dey show. We dey see him. That the Zimbabwe game, that goal that was considered, how did it happen? Indeed, he was tracking the man. He was tracking the Zimbabwe player going to the 18-yard box, which he should be doing, which was the right decision. But was it tiredness or whatever came upon him? He decided to leave the man, run away, and went to meet the winger, the white player for Zimbabwe that had two people already on him. Then the ball came to the box, goal scored. Boom. We saw it there, we ignored it. Rwanda game, he started well. After a while, he expired. Got tired. We saw that, we left it. The South Africa game, I went to South Africa, we saw it that he wasn't cutting it. He and Iwobi weren't cutting it. We ignored it. We still kept him and Iwobi in the team. We still kept them there. They were the only people that Eric Chale saw as midfielders. He didn't care about Onyedika. And then you got to the playoff. The NFF still did not even make any change. That's why I said at the top of the show that even if some way, somehow, FIFA said, oh, Congo, you did this wrong, you did that wrong, and Nigeria ends up playoff, they would not learn from their mistakes and probably will still get the same players in certain positions. You know, and then look, so for me, this AFCON, I want to see certain players in here if we're ready. If we're ready, I need to see certain players in here. Ebenezer Kinsimiro has to be in that midfield. Rafael Onyedika has to be in that midfield. Uche Christensen has to be in that midfield. Uba Charles has to be in that midfield. Now, for Itenwaneri, if you know what you're doing, you should be getting them. You should be getting Rio Gumoa in that midfield. But I don't know about those two. If the NFL are even genuinely serious, I'm talking about people who are clearly single nationals. They have only Nigerian nationality right now. And you don't have to lie to us that, oh, the player is arrogant. Because each time it comes to a dual national, they have their minions who come out and lie for them. Oh, this player is too arrogant. Oh, you just don't want to play for Nigeria. Have you asked him? You say it's arrogant. So that is the issue. And look at the midfield. Indeed, will be they're not creative enough. They are not. Creativity is not one long pass. Creativity can be the shortest pass, but it gets to the striker. It doesn't have to, because each time you will flash one long pass, even if it doesn't get to anybody. Oh, killer pass. What? that was nothing. So you need to get that. Now for strikers, Osimhen, of course, Boniface. I just wish Boniface would be on that list, but I'm not sure. I don't think he's going to make it. I just hope and pray that he's on there because I know what he can bring to the table. And then Onuachu, the form he's shown for his club is making it difficult to ignore. And then Tola Arokodare. So we're having this issue of if you're going to have Onuachu, are you going to have Akko Adams? That's a question you have to look at. And then of course, who's the other striker? Akko Adams. I think he has proven himself. That's what I say when you have a player coming, when you're giving your chance for club, for country, and you don't normally get that chance, you show them. You make yourself undeniable. The same thing, just like what Benjamin Frederick did. Benjamin Frederick was on nobody's radar to play for Nigeria until he got that chance, and the moment he stepped on the pitch, he told them, there's no way you're going to think I cannot play football. I'm going to come in here and will dominate it. And he did. So that's it for any player that is going to come into this team. You have to show it from the moment you get the opportunity. And Akko Adams has shown himself. First game, boom, got a goal. Instantly sealed yourself in the team. Put yourself in the thinking of Eric Chale and the NFF. So, yeah. Young strikers, if you look at John Lady Kenna, is someone that we should be looking out for because the rebuild starts now. It starts now. Certain players would have to be dropped off. Some of your favorites, some of our favorites have to be dropped off, the team. So, I want to know your opinion. Victor Osimhen, how do you feel he has been treated in the national team? Do you think the national team has given him all the best opportunities, the optimal opportunity, to at least the optimal environment to succeed, to push the country, the national team to where it should be. So that's the question, because although would he ever play in the World Cup? Someone says he can play. Someone who contributes to this show a lot says he can play. That possibly he will play. He could play in the 2030 World Cup. By then he will be 31. Is it? So let's see how that all shakes down. 31. All the Maybe he'll still have the pace. Maybe he will still have the pace. Aubameyang still has his pace. Scored twice, yesterday for Marseille against Newcastle United. So maybe it turns out to be the same thing for Victor Osimhen. But we all know right now he's stepping into his prime years, and his prime years probably from the 27 to 29, 30. And then let's see. Maybe depending on how he takes care of himself and how he takes care of his health and all. Maybe he could just be there and ready to be part of the team and lead them to the World Cup. But a lot of players have lost out on going to the World Cup, and it's just so sad and so painful. So at this point, I want to say big thank you to everyone who's watched this live stream. I'm going to do another one later on today. I'll say 2 p.m. Does that work for everyone? Let me know in the comment section. And I'll see you on, did I say yet, another video. So stay well and stay blessed, my people. Bye-bye.